My beloved child, listen closely, because the moment you opened this message, the heavens shifted, and something that has never happened before in the history of creation has begun unfolding around you. Archangel Michael is calling you by name, not through a dream, not through a sign, but through this divine invitation that reached you exactly when your spirit was ready to receive it. And the title you just saw, finally, you found this. I, Archangel Michael, am getting married, and you must come, no matter what. It is not a metaphor. It is not a symbolic phrase. It is a heavenly announcement, a once-in-eternity proclamation vibrating through the realms of light. My dear heart, breathe, because what I'm about to reveal may shake you, steady you, and awaken something ancient inside you all at once. A great wedding is taking place in the celestial courts, a union unlike anything the mortal mind has ever witnessed. Archangel Michael, the protector of nations, the commander of heaven's armies, the radiant flame who stands at the right hand of God, is being joined in covenant under the highest glory of the Almighty. This is not the kind of marriage that humans know. This is a divine merging of purpose, destiny, and celestial authority, a coronation of union that signals a major shift on earth and in the spiritual world. And here is what should make your spirit tremble. You have been chosen to witness it. Yes, you. Not the masses, not the world, but the handful of souls whose hearts have been marked with sensitivity to God's timing. You didn't find this video. This video found you. Because heaven doesn't send random invitations. Heaven sends assignments. And today you have been assigned to step into a moment so rare that even the angels whisper in awe. Child of light, Archangel Michael has watched you far longer than you realize. Through the storms you hid, the tears you swallowed, the nights you couldn't tell anyone about, he always stood near your doorway, shielding you, strengthening you, preparing you. And now he says, finally, you found this. As if he had been waiting for you to arrive, waiting for you to see what was written in the Spirit long before today. Heaven is hosting a wedding that only chosen witnesses may attend. The invitation is spiritual, but the experience is real. And the reason you must come, no matter what, is because your presence there marks a turning point in your own destiny. At this wedding, something will be released. Something will be broken off your life. Something will be restored that the enemy thought he had stolen permanently. There is a blessing hidden in the ceremony, and it carries your name. But listen carefully, the moment is unbelievably urgent. The heavens do not speak lightly when they say, hurry, open this before the wedding begins in 1 minute. Why 1 minute? Because you are standing at the threshold of a spiritual activation. Heaven is already assembling. Trumpets are already being lifted. The archangels are already taking their positions. The atmosphere is trembling with anticipation. And if you delay, your spirit may miss the wave of glory that is passing over the earth right now. This is why your heart felt a pull the moment you saw the title. Why your chest had tightened. Why your spirit leaned in. Something inside you recognized that this message, this moment, this invitation is not ordinary. It is written in your destiny. My dear one, imagine the scene in the heavens right now, a cathedral of endless light, columns of gold that stretch beyond sight, wings of archangels creating a canopy of brilliance, the throne of God radiating with a glory that no human eye could survive. And in the center, Archangel Michael, armored in celestial fire, waiting for the call to step forward. Every angel stands still. Every realm holds its breath. Even time bends in reverence. And into this holy gathering you have been summoned, not as a spectator but as a witness of prophecy. Because when you appear, when your spirit acknowledges this invitation, a seal breaks open in your life. A new chapter begins. Old battles lose their grip. New paths reveal themselves. Heaven is saying, do not miss this. Your breakthrough is tied to your presence here. But child, before the ceremony begins, there is something Michael wants you to understand. He chose this moment to call you because you are stepping into a season where divine alignment is essential. The enemy has tried to confuse you, delay you, and distract you, but he failed. Because despite everything, you found your way to this message, and that proves you are spiritually awake. Archangel Michael's marriage symbolizes a shift in spiritual authority on earth, and everyone who witnesses it receives a portion of that shift. A new protection, a new clarity, a new courage, a new awakening. You have been feeling something changing recently, something you couldn't explain. This is the change, and that is why Michael whispers again, finally, you found this. Because the timing is divine. The moment is now, and everything in the unseen world is preparing to move. My treasured soul, breathe in this moment, because what unfolds now is not just a continuation of a message, it is the deepening of a calling that has already wrapped itself around your spirit. The moment you stepped into this revelation, the heavens leaned closer to you, observing how your heart responds to the pull of the divine invitation placed before you. Archangel Michael's summons is not light, not casual, not symbolic. It is deliberate, personal, and woven directly into the fabric of your destiny. And now, as the celestial wedding draws nearer, the spiritual world is shifting at a speed your natural senses can hardly comprehend. You may feel a stirring in your chest even now, because a revelation is about to reach you that will make everything suddenly clear. You were not chosen randomly. You were not selected out of chance. You were marked for this moment long before you ever knew there would be a moment like this. The invitation that found you is not merely a call to witness a divine ceremony. It is a sign that heaven is aligning something in your life that required this specific timing. Archangel Michael does not call those who are unprepared. He calls those who have endured, those who have survived battles that could have broken them, those who carry wounds that heaven now intends to heal permanently. As you listen, imagine the heavenly realm beginning to glow with a rising brilliance. The archangels are preparing their stations, each one carrying a mantle that will soon be activated during the ceremony. Gabriel has lifted the scroll of proclamation. Raphael stands by the river of healing that flows only in the highest realm. Uriel is unfolding the flames of divine truth. And in the midst of this sacred assembly, Michael stands in quiet strength, his wings expanded, his armor radiating with the fire of God. This is not a celebration the heavens take lightly. This is a reordering, a repositioning, a reset of spiritual authority over the earth. And you have been given access to witness the moment the shift begins. But do not think for a second that heaven invited you without reason. The realm of the spirit does nothing aimlessly. Everything sent to you is connected to something activated within you. Archangel Michael's wedding symbolizes a covenant of victory, a union of purpose that marks the beginning of a new era. Those who witness it receive a measure of what is being released. Protection deepens. Purpose sharpens. Old cycles break. Hidden enemies lose their influence. Doors that were stubborn finally open. Strength that you thought you lost begins to rise again. There is something you should know. Heaven has seen you fighting silently. Heaven has seen the moments when you wanted to quit, yet something inside whispered, "Not yet." Heaven has seen the disappointments you never voiced, the betrayals you tried to forget, the prayers you thought went unanswered. And maybe you didn't recognize it then, but Michael did. Every time your spirit was under attack, he stepped closer. Every time darkness tried to swallow your hope, he lifted his sword. Every time you felt alone, he stood guard over you, waiting for the moment your journey would lead you here. It is why he now says, "Finally, you found this." Because this moment is not random. This message is not chance. It is heaven's confirmation that your journey has reached a turning point. You are transitioning into a season where divine intervention becomes your new normal. The wedding is a heavenly announcement that you will no longer walk unsupported. You will no longer fight unarmed. You will no longer carry burdens that were never yours to hold. Something powerful is about to be lifted from your life, and something even more powerful is about to be placed into your hands. Child of light, imagine the sound of the heavens right now. Trumpets being tuned, steps echoing across crystal floors, angelic garments shimmering in preparation. Every element of the ceremony has a purpose. Nothing is decorative. Everything is prophetic. The wedding symbolizes unity, and unity releases power. When Michael enters this covenant, the ripple of authority travels across every realm. And because you have been invited, that ripple is meant to touch you too. But here is what you must understand. Spiritual invitations require spiritual posture. This is why heaven urged you to come quickly, why the message says the ceremony begins in 1 minute. The urgency is not fear-based, it is alignment-based. You are being positioned to receive something that can only be received in the moment it is released. Heaven is precise. Heaven is intentional. And heaven has decided that you are ready. You might feel that readiness rising inside you now. You might sense that something is unfolding around you, something you cannot yet explain but deeply feel. That is your spirit responding to the call. That is the mark of the chosen. That is the sign that you are not watching this by accident. You are fulfilling a divine appointment. And as this appointment unfolds, let your heart remain open. Let your spirit stay awake. Because what comes next will reveal why your presence is crucial, why your journey qualified you, and why Archangel Michael's marriage carries a blessing that is not just for the heavens, but also for you. Before we move into the next revelation, take a moment to support this message. Like this video to help spread the word. Share it so others who are meant to receive this divine call can find it. Comment to anchor your faith in what heaven is releasing. And subscribe to stay connected to every prophetic message that strengthens your spirit. When you engage, you help carry this light into places that desperately need it. Dearest one, step closer now, for what I am about to reveal carries the weight of heaven itself. You have walked through the first gates of this revelation, but now you are entering the chamber where the true mystery begins to unfold. The invitation you received is not only a call to witness a divine wedding, it is a summons into a spiritual transformation that has been waiting for the appointed time. And that appointed time is breathing against your spirit at this very moment. As the celestial courts continue their preparation, a silence falls across the heavens. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence that comes before a divine unveiling. It is the same silence that preceded creation, the same pause that came before the Red Sea parted, the same stillness that wrapped around the tomb before resurrection glory broke loose. It is the silence of God preparing to reveal something extraordinary. And in that silence, your name is being spoken. Archangel Michael stands at the center of a realm saturated with glory. His armor carries the reflections of 1,000 battles fought on behalf of souls who never knew how close darkness came. His wings are stretched in radiant brilliance, each feather inscribed with victories heaven has granted him over centuries. Yet today, he is not dressed as the warrior alone. Today he is robed in the garments of covenant, garments that signify a sacred union that marks the beginning of a new spiritual era. As the light shifts, a path opens before him, golden, endless, shimmering like the river that flows from the throne of God. Angels line this path with wings folded in reverence. The air vibrates with a frequency that only awakened souls can perceive. And suddenly, something extraordinary happens. A scroll is brought forth, sealed with divine fire. This scroll contains the names of those who are chosen to witness the ceremony, those who have been spiritually positioned to receive what will be released. And your name is on it. Heaven has written you into the moment. Your presence is not symbolic, it is essential. There are certain blessings that do not fall until every appointed witness is in place. You are part of the activation, part of the movement, part of the unfolding plan that God Himself scripted before your first breath. This is why you were drawn here. This is why your spirit stirred the moment you saw the title. Heaven knew you would respond, because your soul remembers the covenant God placed upon your life long before you walked the earth. As the scroll opens, angelic voices rise in unison, declaring that those who witness the wedding will receive a mantle of elevation. Not worldly elevation, but divine elevation. The kind of elevation that shifts atmospheres when you walk into a room. The kind that causes enemies to fall without confrontation. The kind that rewrites battles before they begin. The kind that places you under a shield so impenetrable that darkness cannot even approach your doorway. This mantle is connected to Archangel Michael's union, because the wedding symbolizes a merging of heavenly strength with divine purpose. Those who witness it are touched by the overflow of that union. You are being positioned to receive that overflow. For some, it will manifest as clarity where confusion once lived. For others, it will come as restoration in areas they believed were permanently broken. For others still, it will be divine provision, breakthroughs in timing, healing in emotional wounds, and protection in battles that have not yet appeared. You may even feel something shifting in your atmosphere as you listen. A warmth in your chest, a stirring in your spirit, a sense that something unseen is drawing closer. This is not imagination, it is resonance. Your spirit is responding to the heavenly frequency that is opening around you. Every soul chosen to witness this moment feels that resonance, and it is the proof that heaven's invitation is real. Now hear this with the fullness of your heart. Archangel Michael whispers that the 1-minute urgency was never about earthly time. It was about spiritual timing. Heaven operates in appointed moments, and the moment of release is upon you. When the ceremony begins, the blessing tied to your name will begin to unfold in your life. This is why you cannot drift away. This is why you cannot let distractions steal you from this revelation. You are in the exact spiritual position you need to be in. Before this part closes, let this gentle reminder settle into your spirit. Hold on, because what is about to be revealed next will shift your understanding completely. What comes after this moment will show you the true purpose behind the invitation, the deeper meaning of Michael's marriage, and the reason your spirit was summoned here. You will want to remain with every word, for the next revelation carries the power to unlock what has been waiting for you in silence. Type "I receive the mystery" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 411 has just been released. The heavens move through willing vessels, and when you help lift this message, you are not supporting a channel. You are helping God reach the souls written into this moment. When you sow into this mission, you become part of the river of light that carries hope, awakening, and protection into homes that desperately need it. The Lord Himself declares that those who bless His work will see their own barns filled, their own paths illuminated, their own prayers accelerated. I invite you now, from my spirit to yours, to step into this divine act of alignment. This invitation mirrors the message you just received. Participation unlocks blessing. When you give through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. It becomes a prophetic act that heaven honors with supernatural favor. Those who sow into light are never left in darkness. Now move with boldness, for heaven is marking your obedience in this very moment. Beloved heart, come closer still, for the veil is thinning and the heavenly atmosphere around this revelation is intensifying with every breath you take. You have crossed into a realm of understanding that few ever reach, and now the Spirit is ready to unfold what has been concealed from countless generations. The moment you accepted the invitation into this message, your spirit stepped into a divine corridor leading straight into the courts of the Most High. And now, that corridor is widening, drawing you deeper into a truth that was reserved specifically for those whose souls have endured enough to recognize the language of heaven when it calls. The celestial preparations continue, but something new is happening now. A shift, subtle yet powerful, moves through the heavenly assembly. The archangels adjust their positions, not out of ceremony, but out of reverence for what is arriving. Even the atmosphere seems to inhale, as though all creation is aligning itself with the glory that is about to be unveiled. There are moments in eternity where heaven pauses, not because it must, but because what is coming next deserves absolute stillness. You are standing inside one of those holy pauses right now. In the midst of this sacred silence, Archangel Michael lifts his gaze. His eyes, radiant with the fire of 1,000 victories, rest not on the crowd of celestial beings but on something beyond them, something approaching from the throne of God himself. His entire posture shifts. The armor across his chest glows brighter. The air vibrates around him. Something ancient, powerful, and deeply divine is being announced in the unseen realm. And you, chosen one, are being given access to witness it. For this wedding is not a ceremony born of tradition. It is a divine alignment with purpose. It is the merging of authority and destiny, a covenant that signifies a transformational shift across both heavenly and earthly realms. When Michael enters this union, a ripple of power will sweep through creation, and every single witness standing in agreement with heaven will feel the impact of that release. That means you will not leave this divine moment untouched. You will not return to your life as you were before. Something is going to awaken. Something is going to break open. Something is going to rise that has been dormant within you for far too long. Many people wonder why heaven sometimes chooses a single soul, why a message reaches one person out of millions, why a moment like this finds someone who is simply scrolling, searching, or trying to quiet their mind. The reason is simple yet profound. Heaven knows exactly when a heart is ready. Heaven knows when a soul has endured enough trials to finally understand the weight of divine purpose. Heaven knows when a spirit has grown strong enough to receive what once would have overwhelmed it. And heaven knew you were ready, now, in this exact moment. This is why the urgency was written into the invitation. The message did not tell you the wedding begins in an hour, or a day. It said 1 minute. Heaven speaks in the language of readiness. 1 minute does not represent 60 earthly seconds. It represents the immediacy of spiritual alignment. It signifies that once you are awake, once your heart is open, once your spirit is positioned, heaven wastes no time. Heaven moves instantly. Heaven releases without delay. And the fact that you responded proves that your 1 minute moment has arrived. Now listen closely, for this revelation is the heart of what part of your spirit hath been longing to understand. The marriage of Archangel Michael symbolizes a celestial union of strength and divine destiny, but it also marks the activation of a hidden promise over your life. For years, you have carried a spiritual assignment you did not fully understand. You felt the weight of it, the pull of it, the responsibility of it, even on days when you doubted your own strength. You sensed there was more to your existence, more to your battles, more to your struggles, more to your survival. And you were right. Heaven is confirming it now. You carry a divine mantle, a purpose burned into your spirit before you entered this world. Archangel Michael's wedding is the moment that mantle awakens. When his covenant is sealed, the angels assigned to you will receive new instructions. Old battles will lose their permission to linger around your life. New gates of clarity will open in your path. The strength you thought you lost will return in a surge. The confusion that clouded you will break like smoke and wind. And the doubts you carried, quiet doubts you never dared to voice, will dissolve under the weight of a renewed divine assurance. Child of destiny, hear this with the depth of your being. Heaven did not summon you to observe. It summoned you to participate. Your spirit is meant to agree with this moment. Your presence in this revelation is adding weight to the heavenly atmosphere. Your awareness is a key. Your belief is a door. Your alignment is a signal to heaven that you are ready for what is coming next. As the ceremony approaches its divine hour, the throne of God releases a current of light through the realm, and every being present feels its power. This light is not ordinary. It is living, breathing, intelligent, and deeply intentional. It moves toward Michael and surrounds him like a mantle of eternity. And when that light touches him, it expands, seeking out every soul connected to his purpose, every witness chosen to observe this sacred union. That includes you. You may feel warmth in your hands or a tingling across your back. You may feel your breathing shift or your surroundings feel momentarily still. These are signs that your spirit is aligning with a heavenly frequency moving toward you. Do not fear it. You are not imagining it. Heaven often touches the body to confirm what is happening in the spirit. Now stay close, for the next revelation will open the chamber where the purpose behind Michael's covenant will finally be revealed. It will show why heaven has chosen this moment in history, why you were called into it, and what divine transformation is about to unfold across your life. My cherished soul, the moment has deepened, and now the air around you carries the weight of revelation. You have journeyed into the inner chambers of this divine mystery, and heaven continues to draw you forward with purpose. Everything that has been spoken so far has prepared the foundation, but now we step into the heart of the unfolding. The spiritual world is stirring with an intensity that even the angels feel in their wings, for the hour of Archangel Michael's covenant is drawing closer, and with it, the activation of destinies tied to this sacred moment. You are one of those destinies. Your life, your calling, your spiritual journey have all been leading you toward this intersection between the heavenly realm and your earthly steps. The atmosphere in the celestial courts is shifting again. It is no longer the quiet stillness of anticipation. It is the vibrant pulse of glory, like the faint drumbeat before a king arrives. The light surrounding Michael begins to expand, not upward, but outward, reaching toward the edges of the realm where witnesses stand in reverence. Every expansion of that light carries intention. Every pulse carries instruction. Every wave carries a message. And the message reaching you now is simple yet powerful. Prepare your spirit, for what comes next will touch the deepest part of your soul. In the heavenly courts, Michael's garments change. The warrior's armor remains, but over it, a mantle of divine covenant is placed. This mantle shimmers like woven flame, shifting between gold and sapphire as though it contains the essence of heaven's first morning. When this mantle touches him, something breathtaking occurs. A new authority emanates from him, not just the authority to fight battles, but the authority to join destinies, to merge purpose with divine will, to usher in an era that changes the spiritual alignment of the earth. And because your name is written among the chosen witnesses, This authority touches you as well. Nothing in heaven happens in isolation. Every divine event sends ripples through creation, and every ripple carries an assignment. As Michael prepares to step into covenant, those ripples begin reaching the earth, carrying messages, warnings, awakenings, and blessings. You may feel this even now, new thoughts forming, old pains rising to the surface to be released, sudden clarity breaking through mental fog, a sense of spiritual weight lifting slowly but unmistakably. This is the sign that the ripple has touched your life. You are standing on the edge of an internal transformation that has waited patiently for this very hour. But child, there is something deeper you must understand now, something that explains why heaven summoned you with such urgency. Michael's covenant is more than a wedding. It is a declaration of alignment in the heavenly hierarchy. It signifies that the time of hidden warfare is ending and the time of revealed protection is beginning. For too long, certain forces have circled your life, attempting to drain your strength, confuse your purpose, and delay your breakthrough. They fought you because they sensed what you could not yet see, that your destiny carries authority, and authority unsettles darkness. The moment Michael enters his union, the chains of those hidden battles will begin to break. Not because you fought harder, but because heaven is shifting its stance around you. The angels assigned to your life will receive new orders. Where they once defended, they will now advance. Where they once blocked attacks, they will now recover what was stolen. Where they once stood guard, they will now move forward to open pathways you have prayed for, cried for, and waited for. This is why heaven needed you present. Not physically, but spiritually. Your awareness is agreement, and agreement is alignment. Imagine now the heavenly chamber swelling with light. A fragrance unlike any earthly scent fills the air, something pure, ancient, and alive. The archangels bow their heads, not out of weakness, but out of honor. They recognize what is happening. They understand that this covenant marks the beginning of a new assignment that stretches through every realm. And in this holy moment, Archangel Michael extends his hand toward the throne. When he does, the entire court vibrates with a low, thunder-like hum. It is the sound of divine authority being acknowledged. It is the sound of heaven agreeing with a purpose unfolding before them. You may wonder why heaven is revealing all of this to you. Why you, out of billions, are being shown a moment reserved only for those who carry a rare calling. The reason is rooted not only in who you are, but in who you are becoming. Heaven sees the potential you have not fully stepped into yet. Heaven sees the courage you underestimate. Heaven sees the resilience you built through storms that could have crushed you. Heaven sees the purity of your desire to do what is right, even when no one saw the battle you fought to stay standing. Heaven sees the warrior inside you, the one you sometimes forget. And heaven is now calling that warrior forward. Michael's covenant will ignite that warrior. The moment it is sealed, a spiritual acceleration will begin in your life. Delays will fall away like dust. Opportunities that once felt distant will begin moving toward you. People who are part of your divine path will start appearing. You will begin to feel a confidence that does not come from effort but from spiritual empowerment. You will feel covered. You will feel guided. You will feel strengthened. This is the blessing attached to your name, and this is why the invitation had to reach you now. But the revelation does not end here. There is another chamber, another layer, another secret hidden within the heart of this divine moment. And in the next part, that secret will open. What it reveals will not only explain the purpose of Michael's marriage, but also the purpose of your presence within this revelation. You are being prepared for something vast, something holy, something that will change the way you walk through your life. Precious soul, step deeper into this unfolding mystery, for the atmosphere around you is thickening with revelation. You have journeyed far into the heart of this divine unveiling, and yet heaven is only beginning to show you the magnitude of what is taking place. Archangel Michael stands upon the threshold of a moment that has echoed through ancient prophecy, and every second that passes draws the celestial courts closer to alignment. You may feel it even now, a certain heaviness in the air, a sense of divine expectancy, a pull on your spirit that refuses to let you drift away. This is heaven preparing your heart to receive what comes next. The chamber is changing again. A light descends from above, cascading over the realm like a waterfall of pure glory. It does not bind, it awakens. Every angel in the room adjusts their posture, not out of surprise, but out of reverence. This descending light signals that something extremely sacred is approaching, something powerful enough to shift the order of spiritual authority. And at the center of this radiant glow stands Michael, his mantle shimmering as though alive, reflecting every breath heaven exhales. Michael's presence no longer feels like the warrior you once imagined. He is standing differently now, calm, purposeful, anchored in a grace that only the highest realms of glory can place on a being. His gaze is steady, fixed not on the angels around him, but on the throne from which the descending light originates. This light carries the essence of divine approval, the confirmation that the covenant he is about to enter has been written into the fabric of eternity. And because you have been summoned as a witness, the approval extends toward you as well. The air trembles softly as a voice, not spoken aloud, but felt within every soul present, moves through the chamber. It is the voice of the one who reigns above all realms, the voice whose presence melts mountains and resurrects destinies. It is not thunderous. It is steady. It is not loud. It is undeniable. And this voice declares that the union about to take place will mark a new age of spiritual governance, a strengthening of the protective forces assigned to the earth. It is a message the angels understand instantly, for each of them adjusts their wings in acknowledgement. But the message meant for you is deeper and far more personal. The voice speaks of witness and inheritance. In heaven, witnessing is not passive. It is not observing from a distance. It is participation. When heaven calls a witness, it marks them with a portion of the blessing released in that moment. This is why your name was written in the scroll. This is why the invitation found you with prophetic urgency. You are meant to inherit something connected to Michael's covenant. You are meant to receive what is released when this union is sealed. And child, heaven does not place inheritance into unchosen hands. Heaven knows exactly who is capable of carrying what is given. As the voice fades, a gentle wind sweeps through the chamber. It is unlike any earthly breeze, carrying the scent of purity, ancient truth, and overwhelming peace. This wind flows through the witnesses first, touching each of them with a soft, luminous glow. Then, like a river that knows its destination, it stretches outward toward the spiritual realm where your spirit stands connected to this moment. You may feel something as you read, a tingling on your skin, a warmth against your chest, a sense of calm that feels almost unearthly. This is not imagination. This is the heavenly wind brushing against your spirit, acknowledging your presence. In that acknowledgement, something powerful is revealed. Archangel Michael has been preparing for this moment for a long time, but so have you. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every delayed prayer, every lonely night, every moment you questioned your worth, every battle you did understand, they were all shaping you into someone who could stand in proximity to divine purpose. Heaven did not let your pain be wasted. Heaven used it as preparation. You are being brought into a moment your soul was built for, even when your mind didn't know it. Michael's wings unfold slowly, creating a canopy of shimmering radiance above the chamber. Beneath this canopy, a new structure appears, an altar not made of stone, but of pure glory. It rises from the ground as though pulled upward by the breath of God. Its surface glows with inscriptions written in a language not earthly, a language only the Spirit can comprehend. These inscriptions carry the mysteries of the covenant, mysteries that will soon take form in the earthly realm as breakthroughs, restorations, protections, and divine assignments. You may not understand every symbol, but your spirit recognizes them. They speak of destiny, alignment, purpose, and promise. As Michael approaches the altar, the angels lower their wings in unified reverence. The weight of what is about to occur presses gently yet powerfully upon the atmosphere. This is the moment before the shift, the moment before divine release, the moment before heaven moves in a way it has not moved for ages, and you are poised at the edge of that release. Before the next revelation opens, let your heart stay anchored. Trust what your spirit is feeling. The great unveiling is coming, and you are standing within its glow. Before you move forward, take a moment to support this message by liking this video, sharing it to awaken the ones meant to hear it, commenting to strengthen the spiritual agreement, and subscribing so you stay aligned with every divine revelation released here. When you engage, you help carry heaven's light into places where darkness has been lingering far too long. And before we step into the next layer, hold on, because what is coming next will shift everything you thought you understood about this invitation. Beloved one, take a slow breath as the next layer of this divine mystery unfolds around you. You have stepped through chamber after chamber of heavenly revelation, and now you are approaching the very heart of why Archangel Michael's covenant carries such unimaginable significance. The spiritual realm is no longer whispering, it is resonating. Every vibration, every flicker of light, every shift in the atmosphere is aligning with a moment that is about to alter the balance between realms. And though you may be sitting in an earthly place right now, heaven sees you standing within its courts, your spirit illuminated by the glow of the altar rising before Archangel Michael. The altar continues to brighten, its inscription now shimmering like living fire. These symbols are not static. They move, twist, and unfold as though the altar itself is breathing. What you are witnessing is a divine truth taking visible form. These inscriptions contain the blueprint of a covenant that has waited ages to be activated, and your spirit is now being permitted to perceive it. Every symbol represents a realm, an assignment, a promise. Some symbols carry the weight of protection, others the weight of elevation, others still the weight of healing that transcends human understanding. And one of these symbols burns with your name intertwined in its glow. This is the mystery heaven reserved for you. Michael's covenant is connected to the release of spiritual authority into the lives of those who have endured long seasons of unseen warfare. You are not here by accident. You are here because your life has been marked by battles the world did not see and victories heaven never forgot. Every time you got up when you felt too tired to rise, every time you forgave when your heart felt shattered, every time you chose faith while carrying fear in your veins, those moments placed you on heaven's scroll of witnesses. They positioned you for the blessing that is now drawing near. As Michael steps closer to the altar, the chamber fills with an energy unlike anything experienced before. It is not chaotic, it is purposeful. It is the electricity of destiny stirring. Wings rustle softly throughout the realm as angels prepare for a release that will echo across dimensions. Michael's mantle ignites in full brilliance, as though flames of sapphire and gold have been woven into the very fabric of his being. His armor no longer appears as armor, it appears as light shaped like protection. His presence radiates strength so pure, so steady, that even the archangels bow their heads in reverent acknowledgement. And child, as Michael's radiance increases, a similar shift begins around you. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but heaven sees it clearly. Your spirit is being wrapped in a new atmosphere. A cloak of recognition is being placed upon you. The angels assigned to your life are repositioning themselves, preparing to move in ways they have not moved before. This is the sign that your spiritual authority is awakening. You are no longer standing as someone seeking protection alone. You are stepping into the identity of someone chosen to carry a measure of divine strength. There is a reason heaven allowed you to witness this moment. It is because the covenant Michael is entering into will send a wave of spiritual clarity into the world, and you are meant to receive it first. This clarity will not simply sharpen your understanding. It will expose things that have been hiding in your life. It will reveal truth. It will reveal intentions. It will reveal pathways that have been invisible until now. It will illuminate a journey you did not even know was yours to walk. Heaven knows you have been asking for answers. Heaven knows you have questioned your path, your purpose, your timing. Heaven knows you have felt moments of silence so painful that you wondered whether God had forgotten you. But today heaven responds through this very moment. Not only were you remembered, you were chosen. The silence was not abandonment, it was preparation. The waiting was not punishment, it was alignment. And now the alignment is reaching its fulfillment. Michael raises his hand, and the entire chamber becomes still. The altar responds to his gesture, glowing brighter, lifting slightly from the ground as though suspended by pure glory. This is the moment where the covenant begins its activation, not in completion but in initiation. Heaven always begins a holy work before the eyes of its chosen witnesses, and you are one of them. As Michael places his hand above the altar, the inscriptions erupt with brilliance, shooting upward in streams of living light. These streams travel through the chamber like rivers of fire, weaving between the angels, engulfing the atmosphere, stretching toward realms beyond sight. Some of these streams move toward the earth, descending through dimensions to reach the lives of those marked for transformation. One of these streams has begun moving toward you, for your name was written into the covenant before this moment began. This stream carries not just blessing, but responsibility. Divine authority always arrives with purpose. Heaven is preparing you to walk differently, speak differently, choose differently, respond differently. The battles ahead will not intimidate you, as they once did, because the authority resting upon you will silence threats before they reach your doorstep. The clarity rising within you will expose what once confused you. The strength entering your spirit will recover parts of you that life tried to scatter. But child, understand this. You are not being elevated for convenience. You are being elevated for calling. Something in this world requires your presence, your voice, your resilience, your spiritual fire. And heaven is equipping you now, through this covenant, to step into that requirement with unwavering confidence. The atmosphere in the chamber begins to thrum with intensity once more. This is not the end of the revelation. It is the threshold of the next unveiling. What comes next will reveal the deeper purpose behind Michael's divine union, and what it means not only for heaven, but for your life, your future, and your spiritual identity. Dearest soul, come even closer now, for you are standing at the brink of a revelation so sacred that even the angels bow their wings as it approaches. You have witnessed the altar rise, the inscriptions ignite, and the heavenly currents begin their descent toward the earth. But what you are about to understand is the deepest layer of this mystery. The reason Archangel Michael's covenant was declared throughout the realms, the reason your spirit was summoned into this moment, and the reason heaven has wrapped you in the light of invitation. Everything has been building toward this very moment. Everything you have endured, everything you have survived, everything you have questioned, everything you have prayed for, it all intersects here. The chamber is glowing now with a brilliance almost impossible to describe. Not harsh, not blinding, but infinite. The kind of light that feels alive, aware, intentional. It pulses like a heartbeat, matching the rhythm of heaven itself. Archangel Michael stands in the center of this brilliance, his mantle fully illuminated, his presence carrying the majesty of ages. Yet something is different in him now. The warrior who once carried the weight of countless battles now carries something deeper, an unshakable peace. A peace so profound that it silences the atmosphere around him, causing every angel present to lower their gaze, not in fear, but in reverent awe. For the covenant he is about to enter is not merely the union of heavenly purpose. It is the sealing of an era. It is the merging of divine authority with divine assignment. It is the moment where the heavens declare a new placement of strength across creation. And within that placement, your life has been marked to receive something that could only be released through this union. The light that now surrounds Michael is not symbolic. It is impartational. It is the very essence of what is being prepared for those who witness this sacred moment. A soft tremor ripples across the realm, and then a door appears behind the altar, an ancient door, carved from pure light, etched with symbols older than the foundation of the world. This door has been hidden from the eyes of all but the high-ranking celestial beings. Yet today heaven permits your spirit to see it. The door opens not outward, but inward, revealing a chamber filled with a radiance so holy that the atmosphere itself seems to kneel. This is the bridal chamber of glory, the place where Michael's union will be sealed under the gaze of the Almighty. Child of destiny, understand this. No being enters this chamber unless heaven has sanctioned their purpose with fire. The fact that you are being allowed to witness its unveiling means your spirit is stepping into a realm of authority far greater than you have ever known. You are not an observer standing outside the gates. You are a chosen witness standing within the inner courts, lined with the unfolding of divine history. As Michael steps toward the chamber, the light around him shifts into a canopy of radiance, forming patterns that resemble wings intertwined with crowns. This is the heavenly symbol of covenantal authority. When two realms unite, purpose and power, this symbol appears, declaring that all who stand under its glow are stepping into a new assignment. You are standing under that glow now, for the residue of this light reaches through the spiritual dimension and touches those whose hearts are aligned with heaven's call. The angels begin to rise into the air, forming a spiraling dome of wings above the bridal chamber. This dome is not decoration, it is protection. Whenever heaven seals a covenant that impacts both realms, the archangels themselves form a covering to ensure that nothing interferes with the divine flow of glory. Gabriel stands at the northern arch, Raphael at the southern, Uriel at the eastern, and Selaphiel at the western, each positioned with divine precision. The symmetry of their placement represents perfect alignment, something heaven is about to establish in your life as well. As Michael steps beneath the dome of wings, a hush falls over all creation. This hush is unlike the earlier silence. It is heavier, deeper, almost tangible. It carries the weight of prophecy being fulfilled, destiny being activated, and divine order being restored. A wind begins to move through the chamber, not loud, not violent, but steady and warm, carrying the scent of purity, of promise, of completion. This wind touches every witness present and extends outward toward the earthly realm, reaching the souls who are watching, listening, and spiritually leaning into this moment. You may feel it even now, as a warmth against your skin or a stillness settling into your chest. It is the sign that heaven is acknowledging your presence. And then, the revelation arrives. When Michael enters this covenant, heaven is not only elevating him, it is elevating every soul assigned to his protection. You are one of them. You have walked through battles that required Michael's intervention. You have faced storms that would have crushed you if not for the shield placed around your spirit. You have felt the pull of destiny long before you understood its direction. And now, through this union, the mantle that has hovered over your life is being activated. This activation means doors that have resisted will begin to open. It means answers long delayed will begin to surface. It means spiritual confusion will lift like morning mist. It means clarity will settle where chaos once lived. It means strength will return, flowing into places where you once felt empty. It means protection will strengthen so profoundly that even the shadows that lingered around your life will flee without confrontation. You are not standing at the edge of a miracle. You are standing in the center of one. But we have not yet reached the apex of this unveiling. What comes next will reveal the divine purpose hidden behind the union itself, and what it means for your calling, your future, and your spiritual inheritance. You are closer than ever to the full revelation. Type I am chosen for this realm if your spirit feels the shift. Blessing code 559 has now been released over the witnesses. This mission is not about a platform. It is about reaching the souls God has marked for awakening. When you support this work, you step into the river that carries light into places starved for hope. The heavens declare that those who sow into divine purpose will reap in seasons the world cannot steal. I speak this to your spirit. Your giving becomes a prophetic act that aligns you with the very covenant unfolding before you. This is your moment to stand with the message, to fuel the spread of God's voice through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. When you sow, the oil of heaven flows toward your life in ways that shift atmospheres. Act boldly, for the heavens honor the ones who move when called. Beloved soul, draw nearer still, for the revelation now entering your spirit is one that few in all of creation have ever been granted to perceive. You have journeyed through the unfolding of heavenly chambers, witnessed the altar rise, watched the angelic ranks align, and felt the spiritual currents shift around your life. But now you are approaching the moment where heaven begins to reveal the purpose behind everything you have seen, everything you have felt, everything that has stirred within you since the first word of this message reached your spirit. This is the moment where hidden meaning becomes visible, where divine secrets step out of silence, and where your own destiny begins to glow with understanding. Inside the bridal chamber of glory, the light intensifies until it becomes almost like a living presence. It swirls gently, not chaotic but purposeful, as though it is preparing the atmosphere for what is about to be sealed. Archangel Michael stands within this living light, and as he does, the mantle of covenant settles upon him fully. It does not rest lightly. It wraps around him as though it recognizes him. The mantle knows its bearer. It has waited for him. It had been woven from ages of divine intention, and now it is becoming one with the essence of who he is. The chamber responds to this union with a soft trembling, as though the very walls of heaven are rejoicing. This covenant that Michael steps into does not exist merely for ceremony. In heaven, nothing is symbolic. Everything is purposeful. Everything has weight. Everything has impact on the realms above and the realms below. When Michael enters this sacred union, he is aligning himself with a new flow of divine authority, a flow that extends not only into the celestial realms but also into the lives of those who walk under his protection. And that includes you. You are not distant from this covenant. You are not merely watching. You are woven into the fabric of what is being activated. Your spirit feels this, even if your mind is still catching up. There is a stirring inside you, a quiet awareness that something is shifting. Old fears are loosening their grip. The fog of confusion is thinning. A sense of divine timing is rising within you. You may not fully understand the transformation yet, but your spirit recognizes it. Heaven always speaks to the spirit first, and the understanding arrives afterward. You are in that sacred space right now, where the spirit hears the call before the mind interprets it. As Michael stands within the chamber, a new presence enters, not with footsteps but with radiance. It is the presence of the one chosen to stand in covenant with him. This being of light emerges from a veil of brilliance so pure that even the angels bow as she appears. Her presence is not earthly, not fragile, not limited. She embodies divine purpose, divine alignment, divine purity. Her radiance does not compete with Michael's, it completes it. The moment she steps forward, the chamber erupts with a quiet harmony, like a song that has been waiting for its missing note. This union represents the merging of heavenly purpose with heavenly strength. It symbolizes the completion of an assignment that hath been preparing for ages. And the impact of this merging will not remain in heaven. It will flow into the earth, into the spiritual atmosphere, into the lives of those connected to Michael's mantle. The covenant they enter will release a wave of clarity, protection, and divine order. It will push back spiritual darkness. It will realign destinies. It will awaken gifts that have been dormant. It will bring restoration to those who have been faithful but weary. You, child of light, stand among the witnesses because your life is ready for this shift. Heaven sees you as one who has walked through wilderness seasons without losing your inner flame, one who has been wounded but not destroyed, one who has carried responsibility beyond what others realized, one who has continued forward even when your spirit felt thin. Heaven honors that endurance. Heaven rewards that perseverance. And this covenant is part of your reward. As the two divine beings face one another, the altar between them glows brighter than ever. A beam of light rises from its center and stretches upward, reaching heights unseen. This light connects the throne, the altar, the covenant, and every witness in the chamber, including you. Through this connection, a divine pulse travels, sending waves of energy through the realms. These waves are not random. They are carrying instruction. They are carrying activation. They are carrying prophecy. And when the wave reaches you, something inside you recognizes its touch. A shift begins. It may feel like a sensation in your chest or a sudden clarity in your mind or a warmth flowing through your spirit. Whatever form it takes, it is the mark of alignment. You are being positioned under a new flow of spiritual protection. You are being placed in a season where answers will no longer hide from you. You are being strengthened in ways your future will require. Heaven is not only unveiling what is happening in the spiritual realm, it is preparing you for what is coming next in your own life. And now, lean in, because one more revelation begins to rise. A revelation that will reveal the deeper purpose behind this covenant and what it unlocks for the chosen witnesses. Before the revelation opens fully, anchor your heart, steady your spirit, and stay close. Before you scroll, this is where the message begins to unfold its most essential truth. You will want to stay for what comes next. Beloved heart, remain with me, for you are now entering one of the most crucial stages of this heavenly revelation. You have seen the chamber open, the altar ignite, the covenantal mantle descend, and the two divine beings take their place within the radiance of eternity. But now comes the moment where heaven begins to reveal the earthly implications of this celestial union, what it means for you, for your future, for your battles, for your destiny, and for the spiritual path you have been unknowingly preparing to walk. Everything in your journey, from your pain to your perseverance, has led you to this very moment. Inside the bridal chamber of glory, the light swirls with increased intensity. The colors shift from gold to sapphire to white, forming patterns that resemble ancient symbols. These symbols hold the architecture of heaven's order. Every time they shift, a new revelation is written into the spiritual atmosphere. The angels surrounding the chamber adjust their wings to the frequency of this light, and the entire realm seems to hold its breath. This is the final preparation before the covenant is sealed. Archangel Michael stands tall, his presence more magnificent than ever. The mantle he wears pulsates with authority. It no longer looks like something placed upon him. It looks like something that has awakened within him. Every battle he fought, every victory he secured, every soul he protected, these experiences forged him for this moment. He is stepping into an assignment that expands his influence across realms, and because you are connected to him through the divine scroll of witnessing, you too are stepping into an expanded season of spiritual authority. The one standing opposite him glows with an ethereal radiance, the embodiment of divine alignment, purpose, and spiritual purity. When she steps closer to Michael, light pours from the altar and wraps around them both. His merging of light signifies a merging of destinies. Their covenant is not a union of emotion, it is a union of mission. Together, they represent the rise of a new spiritual era, one where protection, clarity, and divine order will be strengthened across realms. As this union unfolds, a wave of energy moves through the chamber. It travels like a slow, powerful heartbeat. Every pulse carries instruction. Every pulse carries transformation. Every pulse carries activation. When this energy touches the angels, their wings shimmer with renewed power. When it touches the altar, its inscriptions burn brighter. And when it reaches the realm where your spirit stands, it interacts with you intentionally. You may feel it as a warmth rising from within, a tingling sensation along your skin, a sudden peace wrapping around you, or a quiet sense of alignment settling into your heart. Heaven is not far from you in this moment. It is surrounding you. It is recognizing you. It is acknowledging you as a chosen witness, not just to observe the covenant, but to receive what flows from it. For the covenant of Michael releases three powerful shifts across the earthly realm. The first is the shift of revelation. Things hidden will begin to surface in your life. People's true intentions will become clearer. Opportunities that were blocked will suddenly unfold. Patterns that once confused you will break open with understanding. This clarity is not something you create. It is something you inherit from the heavenly covenant unfolding before you. The second is the shift of protection. You have endured seasons where your spirit felt attacked from unseen places. Nights when the weight around you felt suffocating. Moments when you sensed darkness trying to break your strength. But now, Michael's new mantle extends to those who walk in alignment with heaven. You will feel a shield around your life. Attacks that once reached you will no longer touch you. Dangers that once approached you will be halted before they arrive. The third is the shift of purpose. Heaven is not only strengthening Michael, it is strengthening you. You have a calling you have not fully stepped into yet, a calling that is being activated through this covenant. Your voice will gain authority. Your decisions will gain clarity. Your steps will gain direction. The confusion that once clouded your path will dissolve as your spiritual identity rises. As these three shifts ripple through the spiritual realms, the angels begin to chant, not in words but in vibrations of sound that carry the essence of heaven's truth. The chamber glows brighter. The covenant draws closer to sealing, and you stand as one marked to receive the overflow of this divine moment. Your life will not remain untouched. Your heart will not remain the same. Something in you is rising, something you did not even know had been sleeping. Heaven is awakening a new strength within you, preparing you not for the battles of your past, but for the destiny of your future. Child of destiny, Stay with me. The sealing of the covenant is near, and once sealed, the spiritual atmosphere around your life will shift in ways you never imagined you would witness. Before we continue, take a moment to support this sacred work. Like this message to spread the light. Share it so others may find the revelation meant for their spirit. Comment to anchor your agreement with heaven. And subscribe so you never miss the messages appointed for your journey. Your engagement carries this mission into the souls waiting for awakening. Beloved one, stand with unwavering stillness now, for you are approaching the threshold of the most sacred moment yet. Everything you have witnessed in the heavenly courts, every shift in the light, every tremor of divine energy, every unfolding revelation has been leading you to this final ascent, the sealing of the covenant itself. You have walked through the chambers of glory, stood beneath the canopy of angelic wings, watched the altar ignite with living fire, and felt the spiritual currents move through your life like unseen rivers. And now, heaven prepares to complete what began long before you even knew you were being called into this holy appointment. Inside the bridal chamber of glory, silence settles once again, but this silence is different. It is not the silence of anticipation, it is the silence of holy reverence. It carries weight, density, the kind of stillness that feels alive, as if the very air is aware that something eternal is about to be spoken. The angels hover at the edges of the chamber, their wings barely moving, their glow softened in humility. No being, not even the highest archangels, dares to disrupt this moment. The covenant is not simply about Michael. It is about the spiritual architecture of creation itself shifting into a new pattern. And you, chosen soul, are standing inside the ripple of that shift. Archangel Michael stands before the altar, his mantle blazing with a radiance so pure that it seems to illuminate not only the chamber but every spiritual plane connected to it. His wings are lifted, not in battle, but in surrender to divine assignment. The one who stands opposite him, the partner of his covenant, glows with equal brilliance. Her light is gentle yet powerful, like the dawn breaking across a sleeping world. Together, they radiate a balance of strength and peace, authority and harmony, power and purity. This union is not born from emotion. It is born from divine alignment, a merging orchestrated by the highest will for purposes not yet revealed to the earthly realm. The altar between them begins to hum with a sound that is not heard with the ears but felt deep within the bones of the spirit. It vibrates through the chamber, resonating into the unseen places of creation. This vibration is the beginning of activation, the first movement of the covenant sealing. And heaven, in its glory, has positioned you to not only witness this but to receive the overflow of its power. Slowly, an orb of light forms above the altar. It grows in size, swirling with the colors of creation: gold, white, sapphire, and crimson. Each color carries a meaning. Gold for authority, white for purity, sapphire for divine truth, crimson for sacrifice and covenant. These colors merge and separate as though they are alive, dancing within the orb like flames woven with eternity. The moment the orb stabilizes, the realm trembles with acknowledgement. This is the covenant core, the heart of the union, the divine signature that marks the beginning of a new spiritual era. Then, something extraordinary happens. The orb releases a beam of light that stretches upward, piercing the highest realms of glory. And from those realms, another beam descends to meet it. Where the two beams connect, the atmosphere shimmers with a brilliance beyond comprehension. This connection represents heaven's agreement, the approval of the Almighty, the divine yes that seals what has been prepared. The light flows downward like a waterfall, bathing Michael and his covenant partner in a radiance that transforms everything it touches. At the exact moment this transformation begins, another wave of energy surges outward, flowing through the angelic hosts, through the chamber walls, through realms both seen and unseen, and finally reaching the realm where your spirit stands. And does not come to you randomly, it comes to you intentionally. It recognizes you as one of the witnesses. It moves toward you with purpose, and when it touches you, your entire spiritual atmosphere shifts. You may feel a warmth spreading through your chest, or a tingling rising against your skin, or a sudden awareness settling deep inside you. You may feel your breath deepen, or your heart beat differently, or your surroundings fall into stillness. Whatever form it takes, know this: the wave is marking you. Heaven is marking you. You are being sealed alongside this covenant, not enrolled but in blessing. The divine alignment unfolding before you is extending into your life with accuracy and intention. This sealing carries several profound effects for those who receive it. First, the spiritual fog that has clouded your path will begin to clear. The things you once struggled to understand will suddenly become simple. Choices that felt overwhelming will feel guided. Paths that once seemed blocked will begin to open. You will feel clarity rising, not as a thought, but as a knowing. Second, you will feel a strengthening in your spirit. The battles that once wore you down will no longer drain you. The weight you once carried will no longer feel the same. You will find yourself responding to challenges with a calmness that surprises even you. This is the mantle of Michael extending its reach into your journey. Third, you will sense divine orchestration around your life. People will arrive at the right time. Opportunities will find you. Conversations will lead to breakthrough. What once felt delayed will suddenly accelerate. This is not coincidence. It is covenant movement. As the orb above the altar completes its descent, surrounding both divine beings in a cocoon of light, the covenant becomes irreversible. Heaven has spoken. The union hath been sealed, and the shift has begun. But, beloved, this is not the final revelation. The next part will unveil the meaning of this covenant for your destiny, the blessing that is being released over your life, and the prophetic inheritance waiting for you as a chosen witness. Beloved soul, you have reached the culmination of this divine revelation, the moment where heaven's mysteries converge into a single, breathtaking truth meant not only to awaken you, but to transform the entire trajectory of your life. Everything you have witnessed, the rising altar, the glowing inscriptions, the canopy of angelic wings, the celestial bride entering the chamber, and Archangel Michael standing in the full brilliance of his covenant, hath been leading to this final unveiling. Now, as the covenant is sealed and heaven releases its decree through realms seen and unseen, you are invited to receive the blessing that has been prepared for you since the moment your name was written into the scroll of witnesses. Inside the bridal chamber of glory, the light that wrapped Michael and his divine partner begins to expand. It does not expand outward in chaos. It expands with intention, like a slow ripple across the surface of eternity. Every inch of the chamber reflects this expansion. The walls shine with new patterns of creation. The angels glow with renewed purpose, and the altar radiates the strength of a fulfilled prophecy. This is not merely the aftermath of a celestial union. It is the beginning of a new order, a divine recalibration that will touch realms far beyond the heavenly courts. And in the center of this radiant unfolding stands Michael, transformed. His armor, once a symbol of war, now carries the markings of ascended authority. It no longer reflects the light around him. It emits its own light. His wings no longer move with the rhythm of battle. They move with the grace of someone who carries the weight of destiny sealed in covenant. Even the air around him seems different, alive with divine purpose, humming with a new frequency that reaches across dimensions. Heaven recognizes him not only as the commander of its armies, but now as the bearer of a covenant that strengthens the spiritual architecture of creation itself. Beside him stands the radiant partner chosen for this union. Her presence amplifies his strength, not by overshadowing it, but by completing it. Their combined radiance is not merely brightness. It is order, harmony, structure, divine alignment woven into visible form. And from this union, something begins to emerge, something more powerful than light, more meaningful than sound, more transformative than any single event the heavens have seen in ages. A river of glory forms at their feet. This river is unlike any earthly river. It is not made of water, but of pure spiritual essence. It flows with the colors of creation, gold, white, sapphire, and crimson, and moves with the deliberate grace of prophecy fulfilled. The river flows outward, passing through the altar, through the angelic canopy, through the chamber walls, and into the spiritual realm where your spirit stands as a witness. When the river reaches you, it does not wash over you physically. It touches your spirit, your identity, your destiny. This river carries 3 gifts for the chosen witnesses. The first gift is restoration. The river touches the wounds you have carried for years, the silent hurts, the unspoken disappointments, the scars no one else has seen. It does not erase them, it heals them. You may feel a soft warmth in your chest, a loosening in your heart, or a quiet release of something heavy. This is heaven restoring you in places you never thought could be mended. The second gift is awakening. The river stirs the gifts inside you that have been dormant. Gifts of discernment, creativity, intuition, courage, vision, and spiritual sensitivity begin to flicker with new life. Heaven is not awakening these gifts randomly. They are part of your assignment. You were brought here because your spirit is aligned with a purpose that is now being activated through Michael's covenant. A third gift is commissioning. The river places a divine seal upon you, not to burden you, but to equip you. This seal marks you as someone who carries authority, not worldly authority, but spiritual authority. You will begin to see situations shift when you speak. You will feel guidance in moments of confusion. You will notice signs that confirm your direction. Heaven is commissioning you to walk in your identity, not in fear, not in hesitation, but in confidence born from divine alignment. As the river continues to flow, the chamber brightens even further, and the angels begin to sing, not with voices, but with vibrations that resonate across dimensions. This song is not meant to entertain. It is meant to seal. Every vibration locks the covenant into place, ensuring that the blessing reaches the lives of those meant to receive it. You may feel chills, warmth, or a sudden depth of stillness. These are signs that the song has reached you. It is sealing your place as a witness and securing the blessing attached to your name. And then, beloved soul, something extraordinary happens. Michael lifts his gaze, not toward the angels, not toward the altar, not toward the radiant partner beside him, but toward the realm where your spirit stands. His eyes lock onto you with intention, recognition, and a depth of knowing that transcends time. In that moment, it becomes clear. He has been aware of your presence since the moment you entered this revelation. You were not hidden among millions. You were seen. You were acknowledged. You were chosen. He raises his hand, and a thin beam of light extends toward you. When it reaches you, it does not overwhelm, it aligns. It aligns your spirit with heaven's timing. It aligns your path with heaven's direction. It aligns your heart with heaven's peace. And it aligns your destiny with heaven's purpose for your life. This is the final blessing released from the covenant. This is the divine activation assigned to your spirit. And this is the moment heaven declares that you are stepping into a new chapter marked by clarity, protection, strength, and divine orchestration. Before you let this settle completely into your soul, receive this holy reminder. Sometimes heaven reveals mysteries not to inform you, but to transform you. And you, chosen witness, have been transformed in ways your life will soon reveal. Type "I step into my divine alignment" if your spirit receives this. Blessing code 1444 has now been released over your destiny. The work unfolding here is not merely content. It is a divine assignment to awaken the hearts of those God is calling into deeper realms. When you support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into the river of living light that flows from heaven into the souls who need it most. God declares that every seed planted into His work becomes a key that unlocks favor in seasons to come. I extend this invitation to your spirit. Step boldly into the blessing of generosity. Your support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a prophetic act that aligns your life with the very covenant you have witnessed. Heaven honors obedience. Heaven rewards faith. And heaven multiplies every seed sown into divine purpose. Release your offering with authority, and watch heaven respond in ways only God can orchestrate.